So what do you think when you hear the city of Los Angeles? What do you hear? You hear violence, you hear gang shootings, you hear accidents, you hear riots, earthquakes. You may also hear like places like Hollywood might ring a bell where you become famous, like an actor, actress, producers, directors, dreams to be followed. Like, you know, there's quick and easy answers like liposuction, implants, and so forth and so forth. But when you don't hear the city of Los Angeles, you don't hear nothing about me. Something about great positive, about being a team lead member of the YMCA, helping out our community, or, you know, me about coming up into an underground recording label, or graduating one of the best schools in the West, Cathedral High School. You don't hear none of that positive stuff. You know, you may hear about the LA Times, but you may hear not a lot of stuff about people rolling around, you know, capturing good things. Why the hell is that news? So I was born August 12, 1986, around the same era where the Crips and the Bloods used to be famous over Watts, Compton, and some of Inglewood. And you know, I was born in the era of where hip hop used to be 1 year old, but hip hop was in the industry already in Manhattan. Def Jam Recordings started playing, the NWA started to form, and stuff like that. August 12, 1986, I was born. I was raised right here in these damn steps right here. That was my mom, my brother, and my pops used to live here. This is 12th place. This is 12th place on the Piquen Union District. And right here, my pops used to have like a garden here. He used to own this place. And, you know, I remember as a little kid, I used to take my first steps right here. Well, my mom told me the whole story right here. This door right here. This is where I experienced death for the first time. The landlord died right here with his cats. And he got carried out by the ambulance and stuff right here. And stuff like that. I have a lot of memories here. I grew up here for 8 years of my life. The most important thing is that I saw the LA riots here in this building. And I experienced the 1994 earthquake here. And right there, right across the street, that's where my pops became an architect. Well, not an architect, but he became a construction worker right here. If it wasn't for my pops, that place wouldn't exist. The architect, the person who helped to construct the projects right here, he actually hired my pops to be a security guard. So my dad would have, secure from up there in the porch, taking the smoke. And he would have like secured that place right there. Used to have my 8th birthday here too. So let's take a look back around this motherfucker. I think that's a basketball I lost right there back in '94. I used to practice that motherfucker every day. I have this place memorized. That's the living room, that's the kitchen, and then that's the neighbor's kitchen. And they used to connect like between the walls in the back area. And had to connect it with this door. So it's like a little back way, but it's cool though. It was cool. It's cool. This little place used to have a lot of memories, man. Can't believe I'm back here. Some lady let me in here. I used to play with some friends. As a matter of fact, I don't know if they still live there. I used to play with the neighborhood kids there. Sometimes, my parents would let me because I used to misbehave a lot. Used to go to 10th Street, come back. I remember that my mom met this lady a block away from here. They started talking about me going to Catholic school. Well, I'm right here live from my elementary school, Immaculate Conception. And right here where I'm standing is called the Rhyming Alley. There's between two bungalows, the Reading Lab bungalow and the Computer bungalow, which is standing right behind me. Tuesdays and Thursdays, my homie Hector, Donald, and myself used to be right here in the Rhyming Alley Tuesdays and Thursdays early in the morning before my friend Frank used to bring the mics and the speakers to set up for the daily announcements in those 2 days when the school gathered as a community to pray and hear the school announcements and the highlights of the sports of how your boy did, even though he was on the bench. But anyways, my mom, she applied me here back in 1995. There was this lady from 2 blocks away from 12th place where I was being raised. They bumped into each other. I think it was fate or something like that. it was destiny or something. And you know, she used to have a child here by the name of Rudy. Rudy is like a big, tall cat, like cool cat. He was an 8th grader while I was a 3rd grader. That was cool because I used to look up to that dude, and I still do. You know, so I used to come here. And so I met 3rd to 8th grade, and I graduated here in 2001. And the best memories I had here was being best friends with Donald and, you know, playing on the playground and enjoying best of life there at a camp. And I remember back in '99, you know, when my mom had her accident, the principal and my 7th grade teacher used to look out for me little by little. Like, I used to have to literally, they made me to stay after school so I could finish my homework on time and make sure, like, if I needed help or I was struggling on something, they would make sure that my questions were answered so I could get the right proper average grades or above average. So, you know, I used to be the black sheep of the school. Like, man, sometimes with misbehavior, suspension, all that. I mean, I used to be no innocent boy. I mean, I had my guilties, I had my days. But, you know, like I tell everybody, you know, things changed for the best as soon as I went to high school because we're live at my high school right now, so yeah, you know, I used to go to Cathedral High School. I was here since freshman year, yo, and like the proof is like, you know, the finals, man. Started here at 2001. Before September 11, I came here on August. You know, the place used to be different. Right now the school is going into construction and stuff. We're trying to build a new gym. And yeah, I had pretty good times right here, man. I mean, I remember I used to rock the stage here too. It was called Rap, Rhythm, and Rhyme back in those days. It was a club where, like, anybody with talent, they would get to rock the show. Man, it was a trip. It's a trip to see this place, man. It gives me a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and, you know, I had my goods and bads over here, you know. But, you know, in the end, it was cool. It turned out to be cool, you know. So I'm right here, I'm live at the downtown YMCA, and standing here next to me is one of my greatest role models, my mentors, you know, a great friend, a best friend, Mario Valenzuela. You know, he was a member in Trilife before I was. He was a senior here, and I was a freshman right here at Cathedral, you know, so, you know, when he was gone, I didn't picture myself being friends with this guy, so, you know, I'm one of the veterans right here at Trilife, and then later on I became a veteran. He saw me grow. He had goals, so tell him what's up about Trilife, Mario.
About Trilife, well, you know, Trilife started back about 12 years ago, and Billy here was one of the true pioneers. You know, when the program got going, we like to call those the golden years. It's a volunteer-based program, and I mean, Billy here epitomizes volunteer work is. You know, he volunteered nearly 300 hours of volunteer service without even being asked to. When we had an event, Billy was there. So, Trilife has changed throughout the years, you know, but Billy right here, man of history, is like a legend to Trilife. Like you said, a dynasty, you know.
The dynasty has never died.
It has never died. So when I took over the program along with Jesse Leon, even though Billy took off to college, he's always been here. As you can see right now, he's back at the wall, you know, doing his work. Wherever he's needed, he's there. And I'm glad that he's continuing, you know, his work up in college, taking care of business, and, you know, hope to have him back.
Yeah, and I was coming back. I gotta forget about you, man.